Hello everyone, welcome back to MoteMancer. Yesterday, I think I made a ton of progress. Started on the shadow plane with nothing built, and did a little bit. God, it is... Okay, I guess I'm going to restart the game. Back in a sec. Alright, anyway. Started on the airplane with the shadow plane. I'm on the shadow plane. It's not an airplane. And I guess it's just frame me forever now, huh? Restarting the game doesn't help anymore because there's just too much stuff going on and my computer is, 10 years old and was modestly high spec, but not like crazy high spec at the time I bought it. So I built a lot, right? We got Air Adept, which basically is just air prisms and elemental life and nothing else. And more importantly, Whispering Abyss so that I can get the last void chest. That's the main thing I accomplished yesterday, is I have the third type of void chest. I have production here of Quicksilver. And now that I have that last void chest, I've already done a little bit, not much, of decoupled salt production. With the first transplant recipient, I suppose, is going to be here, making elemental fire. So I set this up with 9 per second, which would be 3 grippers to completely fill this. I, again, don't think I'm going to use all this fire, but if I want it, here it is. And I was thinking about what to do next. One thing that would be a great boon of sorts would be to just go find some more shadow and turn it into salt. Find some more shadow, turn it into salt. But I think what would be way better to do would be just get off this plane as fast as I can. Oh, here's some shadow. And go back to Earth, where I already have way more salt production than I need. And if I just dumped that into some void chests, it would unlock... It would be enough salt to supply a ton of stuff here. Then I can come back and do the rest of the research. And I don't think it's that hard, right? I need this keystone, which needs the things I already have, plus obsidian and quicksilver, right? Oh, am I? I'm not... I'm not actually researching elemental shadow over here, because I said this was going to be my air research area. So I'm making prisms and elemental air. I'm not... Okay, but that's fine. There are shadow prisms here, elemental shadow here, and I can easily just make a handful of Quicksilver and Obsidian be available down here, and then I can just make a very simple research setup. Yeah, I kind of like that. So maybe I did have this in the wrong order, because I said, oh, well, I don't want to reuse this research area, and I kind of don't, but also I kind of do. So whatever, I'll just run this up this way. It's fine for the salt train to end. I think it's called a Caldera Crucible is the new thing I need, right? Or not new thing, the old thing I need. Should be in this row somewhere. I just need elemental fire and salt. Well, joke's on you. Here it is. going to take a bunch of churning through items to make that. Oh man, we're making so little salt. But that's fine. I have the technology. I just want to go somewhere else where I can apply the technology more effectively. And then I can come back here and do a more thorough research build, I think. Okay, there's my fire. There's my shadow. Thought. Oh, this is the wrong thing. This is a caldera crucible. That's for Earth. This is supposed to be... Oh, God. The names for all these things are crazy. An infernal maw, right. I need more darkness. Caldera crucibles were for brimstone, but I need obsidian. They're both just such volcano-y words, you know? It's hard to keep them straight. Boy, you need so many ingots for everything. Where is it? Here? Yes. There we go. That's better. I have quicksilver. I have obsidian. And I need the most powerful shadow production building. A dark grove, which requires more elemental shadow. Well, I don't even need that yet. I need to do research on these items, right? Let's just plop down another altar for this. Where did it go? Here it is. Put it, I don't know, there. Build more slabs. Pedestals? Do I still have any of those? Housing over this doesn't help. I don't know why I always do this, just to have it. Looks like I don't. Where are they? I made some. I know I did. There they are. Not there. 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 Stop. There. Okay, so... this last bit of shadow research, or first, really, for this plane, needs 4 things. There's the obsidian. There's shadow prisms. Oh, thank you. Cloud cap. Who knows what it does? Elemental darkness is right here. So let's just run that over. And then I need some of this good stuff. But not altogether all that much. Okay. So that's researching Shadow Mastery. It's not going to be the fastest thing in the world, because my production on all of these is pretty slow, and I only have one altar. But 300 seconds... Well, 300 seconds is 5 minutes. I'm only doing one like every 2 seconds, really, so it's like 10 minutes? Okay. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to build another altar, right? But I don't want to. I just want I don't want to commit so much to this that I'll feel like I have to extend this disaster. I just want this to be enough to get me out of here, go automate salt, come back with a big pile of salt in my pockets. Oh, I forgot. There's elemental earth coming out of this that I could have used. Oh, but I don't need elemental earth for anything. It's just here if I run out of grippers. Which it doesn't look like is going to happen. Let's go get some more slabs while we wait. I guess slicks by the look of it. Prune my inventory of useless junk. How did I end up with a dark grove that I'm carrying around? Who knows? Research is still not close, I assume. Oh, it's 500? It would be nice to get this over a little bit faster. Because there's not really anything else I want to do while I'm here. I just want to leave. So how bad would it be? Like to just build another one of these. It doesn't seem like that disastrous, right? This could easily go over here. This slick is kind of annoying, but I guess it could just route this way. And then you are pretty easy to handle as well, I suppose, right? I mean... That cost me a few seconds to double the speed of something that's quite slow. Well, maybe double the speed. I don't know what our... What's the word I'm thinking of? The thing that... The bottleneck. I don't know what the bottleneck's going to be. It looks like it's altars, though, right? So I could build another? It's crazy talk. Don't do that. I mean, why not, though? Answer, because I don't want this to become a big old research area. I want to do a nice, clean, shadow-only research that's not in the middle of a big mess of other stuff. Down here. I guess I could go double check, like, is there anything cool in... Yeah, so let's go build some more rune shrooms. This needs so much elemental shadow. Yeah, it looks like elemental shadow, if anything... Oh, that's air. I mean, a lot of these aren't running, so I guess this can't be the bottleneck. These aren't running because there's nowhere to deposit stuff, not because they're empty. Oh, that's a little bit too much. I don't even have anywhere to put this when it's done building. Okay, so my rune shroom will tell me what the new ritual is when I have it. But I have to come back here and just, I mean, find areas with a lot of shadow, I guess, and tie it all together and then automate a bunch of stuff with it. Okay, a rune shroom. So tell me about rune shrooms. So, I guess the color of these indicates what color of mushroom I'm supposed to put in there, right? Like if I want amplify, I need to put in the red mushrooms. Oh my god, get this tooltip out of my face. There's something wrong with tooltips on this thing. It's happened to me multiple times. Right, amplify. Is it just because I press E while... Yeah, I press E to close that, but it doesn't notice. So then I have to mouse over it again to get it to disappear. I see. So red mushrooms. And this is also red mushrooms? And then I assume there's 3, like, just shadow purple mushrooms in a row. So we don't know what this last one is. Oh, you do. It tells us. Production. And then there's 2 air ones. Yeah, I mean, I still am not in love with this. It's clearly powerful, but it's optimizing for something that I don't care about, it seems like. The production one is I guess, it makes better use of your raw resources. which is something I do care about a little. Your throughput of resources. You know, operating faster, that's just like, well, it uses a few less buildings or a little less space, both of which are, you know, space can matter in a very constrained area, but you should just try not to be in a constrained area, right? Build out in the open. I guess while I'm sitting here, I should just gobble up some mushrooms. What is this? Shoal Sweep. It's been forever since I saw this on the list, I think. This is still going, I hope? Oh no, this is one I didn't care about because I don't use lava generators. Okay. Yeah, so like I could try to automate whirling grippers here or something, but I just don't want to. I guess what I can do to make productive use of my time is go scout out more shadow. Oh no, I got stuck in... Okay, there we go. In a moat field. I could also replace existing shadow harvesters with the good ones. Right? But they're not actually that much better with no notable upgrades on them. Right, it says that makes 1 per 1 second, but that's how fast it is to make a collector, not how fast a collector operates. Yeah, so a shade collector operates twice as fast as a simple collector, but they're so big. I can only fit like half as many of them in a field. So until I get more upgrades, I don't even really care about the shade collectors, I think. The simple ones are fine. Oh! Mushroom pop in. Okay, so like here's one, for example. Oh, this is air. Forget that, I don't need air. I'm anaerobic. Ha. That looks like fire up here. Which I also don't need. There's some. Here's some, I think. What is this? Is this anything? This is more air, right by where I've been doing everything, huh? Cool, I guess. Oh, if I zap this, it should make some more, shouldn't it? Although it'll make more air, which I don't care about. A lot of air in this area. Here's some shadow. So, I don't even want, I think, to... Well, do I? I don't know. The question I was going to ask / answer was, should I bind this elemental darkness in place, like at the mining sites? The classic factorial question of, do you smelt at your mining sites or do you ship ore? Generally speaking, I think you're like supposed to smelt at the mining sites early game because it's inefficient to ship ore. It doesn't pack as well. But I think late game you kind of get to a point where if you're exhausting resource sites sort of regularly. You don't want to have to rebuild the smelting along with the mining. Although I guess construction robots can take care of that. But one thing you can do is just set up a train station for smelting iron. Ship the ore there, smelt it, and then ship the plates elsewhere. So I could do a similar thing here, because I can make salt. Not make salt. I can import ether right here. I mean, I guess I should, because it's easier to, I don't know, be obsessed with ratios this way. I only need to ship one. I need a slick that's going to be full of one thing. It should either be full of motes of shadow, and then I should run it to some central processing facility where I turn it into elemental shadow. Or each mining facility should bind all the shadow that it mines and then ship that. And that seems better, I think. Although, I guess, in some ways, it's not... It makes sense at the moment, because I know the ratio of, like, how... Let's say I can fit down 12 collectors here. I don't know how many I can fit, but let's say it was 12. And the collectors each make one every 2 seconds. That would be 6 per second, so I could put in 12 binders, and this mining site could then just tap into the... It could hop on the elemental shadow train, and I'd never think about it again. But that's not actually correct, because once I get upgrades to the shadow collectors to increase, to multiply their output, each mining site will then need more binders for the same number of collectors. And also, if we ever, like, empty a mining site, it would be nice to not have to reset up a new set of binders, right? To just run... I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to need so much shadow that I even run out of these, right? But, like, what if I did? So it seems like the kind of extensible, stable, long-term solution is to not smelt on site, or in this case, not bind on site. Can't really fit another one in there. So this is just, like, atrocious. This is 8 of them. I mean, I guess that's as much... as much as I get from 16 simple collectors, which is about what I can fit on a mote field. I just feel like I should be able to pack them better, and I don't know how. Am I being foolish by pointing them inwards? Should I point them outwards? It would need a little bit more in terms of slicks. But they could be, you know, up against each other's backs. Would that be helpful somehow? I don't know. All right, I'm completely lost. So... okay, fire is south. Those don't connect? Oh, I hate you. Ah! I wanted to pick up the wire, not... There we go. Oh, wow. This one wire actually touches every single one of these mines. I don't need any more, just for the purpose of powering them. I need more, obviously, to get out to a power source. But for powering all this... that one fire wire is enough. It's really south? I've sort of lost track of where I am. South was kind of a surprise to me. Oops. Hey, another mining thing right here. Oh, how nice. Let's just mine this out while I'm in the neighborhood. So if I did it this way, I mean, I don't know how great this is. It does have, you know, an advantage, I suppose. It's easy to extract. Now that would close it off. I can't allow that. This way I fit in 10 instead of 8. And really there's sort of room for another here, right? 11? Oh, there's no more. Okay, so I might want to run these here just to like export the goods, but to mine the goods, I don't need any more. All right, I bet that was Keystone Research. Was. Or Mastery Research. Wow, there's like nothing back here. Mana Regen, Shade Collector Array, and the last ritual. Okay, no problem. Oh, it's like right here. Running these power poles would be so much less annoying, excuse me, these fire wires, if I could just drag and have it place them in the appropriate place. Like you can with slicks and streamways and... slabs, I guess. Okay. So now, I think I'm just gonna leave. Oh, it should be a dark grove, I think, right? Yeah, which I actually have one of, don't I? Or did I drop it? No, I have it. Prisms, and then the two fancy materials. Sadly, the prisms are down here. And over here. They're everywhere except where I need them to be. But I don't... well... right. I'm only building one. I can just do it by hand. It's just that I have to pick them up and put them in the machine. This stuff requires void chests and shade collectors. Okay. So not that much to actually do here. Just grab a few prisms, a little obsidian, a little quicksilver, and drop it off. Alright, I'm free to go, right? There's more to do here. But I got what I came for. It's always the wrong one. Yep, free to go. Nice. Power consumption is laughable. Oh yeah, this is miles away. No, it's right next to my factory. Oh no. It's miles away, but I'm shipping in elemental earth from nearby. That's right. Wait. Oh no. I can't go to Earth to put down this void chest because it's an air-based void chest. I made this decision, like, on purpose so that I would have access to ether on the plane of water. And I figured, oh, on water, it'll just be so easy to get salt that I don't mind having the salt chest be... I don't mind making the salt on premises. No, I guess I did this wrong. I don't think I can fix it at this point unless I hunt down every use of the void chests, which seems insane. But what would be the ideal is if every plane had access to everything, of course, but that's impossible. So I want to make sure that water has access to ether, which I have. I just can't put the ether in the fire chest. Instead, I put salt prisms there, figuring I can make those. And I guess I sort of imagined that water, where I have access to brineries, would be a great place to make all the salt. But I'm not on water. And I want salt. Maybe I'll just go to water next. Knock that out. Alright, we've seen how it doesn't have to take that long to get keystone research going on a plane. And it should take even less time now because I have access to useful void chests. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, that doesn't seem like such a bad idea, right? Am I gonna try to build with slicks on the water plane? Probably not. I guess a problem is that I want to make sure I have enough void chests. But I don't know. I mean, I went onto Shadow with like 25 of each or something, and I have 25 of each left. I made a handful of them there, but not that many. I definitely brought more than I needed to get this much done. So I could just take a handful of void chests to water and assume that'll be enough, which it should be. And use basically my life toolkit, this one, instead of the shadow one. Because shipping Ichor Slicks in is going to be pretty much impossible if I don't go through air, right? But if I want to put off air and go do water so that I have easy access to salt... And I mean, like... That's not that important a thing to do. Right? I could find... In fact, even here, there should just be a ton of earth lying around because the earth miners are so efficient, right? Even right here, yeah, I'm binding it all into elemental earth, but no one's using it, so all this earth is really going to waste. And this earth is 20 per second? Is that right? A little more, because I have 11 times 2. It's 22 per second. That could easily make 22 salt per second, even if I don't use brineries. But I guess that's just not as much as I want. Yeah, so Earth is the plane where I can't use the new gripper, which has salt. And that, like, seems fine because, oh, it's just so easy to make salt there. But it would be nice to export it, is all. How many grindstones am I carrying? 20? I would need 44 grindstones to process this, I think, which is ridiculous. But also not that much, in a way. And it would let me continue into air and using slicks and having easy access to all the void chests, right? Which would be nice. If I didn't bother to, like, set up brinery stuff instead. Now, wait a minute. The plane of life... No, right, but I can't use any void chests there. So I can't... I could set up water and mine salt. Like I could set up a brineries, and mine all the salt. But I can't export it from there. Also, there's not a ton of water in Earth lying around, but there's some. I could find some. I feel like just setting up here is reasonable, simple. So let me get a little grindstone machine going. Why am I building it so far away from power? Great question. I don't need a million of them. I can just take it out of this. How on earth did it get so off-center there? Oh, I guess I'm running around with haste. Maybe don't do that. How many is that? Not even close. 5, 10, 15. Build 3 arrays like this, maybe? And, you know, once I'm done in water, I would have access to brineries, but not on fire. And I wouldn't have access to the void chests on Earth or life. So it seems like the way I chose it, I don't really have any place where... Well, wait a minute. Except Shadow. On Shadow, there's access to lots of Shadow, but I couldn't use brineries. Well, I could, if I had researched them, which I haven't. And then I could export them from there. But on Shadow, I want to use the Shadow as Shadow, you know? Maybe just setting up these 2 arrays is fine. 30 grindstones. But that's only 15 salt per second. That's the crazy thing. Pyrolyzers are so good at making salt. Well, they're very bad at making salt. They're very good at making ether. That just, like, setting up an array this size of, like, 7 or 8 pyrolyzers was like 7 times is like 45 per second, I think, or 42 or something. Must be 42. And this is only 15, so like it's 3 times as good in terms of space. I don't know. And it's so much easier to handle when it's just one line. Oh, is this more earth? No, it's fire, surely. Yeah. What are you mad about, by the way? Whoever did anything over here? I guess this must be something I did on fire. Shadow. And this, I assume, is based on the earth mining we're doing there. Oh, there's more earth here. Ah, that's because I incinerated a field. There's a decent number of earth motes there. So the output of this is simple. It's just a slick on each side. I don't really have to join them back up. I guess I often put this a little closer, right? I put the grippers here. For some reason I didn't today. Whatever. Not a big deal. God, I love magma grippers. The fact that they don't require power rarely matters to me. But that they're 3 times as high throughput as simple grippers, that's the exciting part. So if these were all running, this is 15, right? 5, 10, 15, 30. So I'd be producing 15 salt per second. 7.5 on each side, which is 3 grippers. Filled up fast? Okay, pretty funny. Oh, you're not even plugged in, you weirdo. Okay, so this is a start. When you look at the amount of, well, I mean, to do all the research on Shadow is just not going to cost that much, right? Well, some, I guess, but I don't really care about those. So, like, how much did we... It's just these 2. So it's 200 Shadow Keystones. Plus, like, some Elemental Shadow, which is basically nothing. So 400 Keystones is what I have to make. Plus, you know, some Shade Collectors and some Void Chests, which are a lot, I guess. But not as much as the Keystones, I'm reasonably sure. Keystones are 27 shadow, which means 27 salt plus the extra 9. So, like, well, I mean, Keystone is 36 salt. I said this is 15 salt per second. Yeah, I mean, I want more, that's for sure. Or no, this is, yeah. This is 15 total salt per second. Could make some more salt here, I guess. But I think... Oh, I put down my fire keystones in a chest on the other side because I wasn't going to need them anytime soon. Which is true. Was true. Now I want them to go back to Shadow just to pick up more. Well, I don't... I was thinking to pick up more void chests, but can't I just build more of these? A handful. I don't have enough air for anything else. So I can go plug these into some of my existing salt mines, which I have a handful of. Am I going to fall off the earth if I walk into one of these? Well, I'm going to fall into a dang old ember collector, that's for sure. So up here, we're shipping motes of shadow. Weird. But then they turn into elemental shadow here. Okay. There's a salt factory in this neighborhood, isn't there? Oh, this is my ether factory. Cool. Salt prisms fed by salt here. Yes, this is not the grandest salt I've ever seen, but it's something. And it all connects up, so I can just look at this and say, what, it's 16, which is 8, so I need 3 grippers again to export all of this. And then, you know, if all parts of my factory were operating at the same time, we'd have some issues. Oh, wait a minute. There's more salt coming in from up here. I forgot about that. How much is this? Quite a bit, actually. 4... 10? What is this number? Does that number exist? Also, why you don't have anything? Yeah, you're not plugged into the slick is why. On either side for some reason? Oh no, you are on this side, okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 20. That's 10 per second, so that's 4 more grippers to export all this. And it is all, oh my god, look at all this earth. It is all on a single... You're not even pointing the right way. It is all on a single one of these guys. So, I mean, yeah, this seems like this might be enough salt that I could stop worrying about it. this ether's being exported. Good. The salt continues to the north. Good, good. I'm glad I set all this up. Okay. This is a funny one. How many is this, do you think? 4, 8, 12, 16. Oh, probably 24, right? I count 25, but maybe I missed. And I can undershoot a little bit here. This is 12, so I need like 4 grippers. I'm just going to put 3 because I rounded up on the last few things I did, and they're all connected to the same slick. So let's do another 3 grippers here. Okay. I think that's probably enough salt to do whatever I want for some time. Enough to satisfy a plane, more or less. Now, if I look at the places where all this salt was being consumed, where was it all going? It was making, like... Okay, I don't know what the deal is with all these prisms. But I'm putting them in void chests, and so that's probably... These were set up just... Oh, that's right. I was bringing salt down from the north, and I was like, oh, look, there's some ether here. Let's make some prisms. Sure. So this was where I was using a lot of this salt, to bind a bunch of... elemental fire. Is this really how things went? And I guess the rest went in here to ingots, which consume quite a bit of salt. Yeah. So I think this was the main salt consumption of the factory, was in here. In that it was consuming elemental fire and salt to make the ingots. Okay. How are we for time? I bet it's been an hour. This is not salt production. This is salt transit. I don't need a new void chest for that. Is there any other noteworthy salt production going around here? Where's the salt coming from? It's coming from... this slick, I see. The main one I've been working with. Which goes all the way down here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not much to speak of happening down here anymore. Although I wouldn't mind a quick pick-me-up. It's probably a few too many here. Take some back, I guess. And definitely want to grab the void chests so that I can turn them into chests of whatever kind. Okay, so yeah, I'm not decided yet on whether I should head to water or air next, or if I should even bother finishing up on Shadow? Like, all I really want is this. And I just don't need that much Shadow when I head to air, right? Well, I need slicks. I need a lot of slicks. So tripling output of my Shadow collectors would be kind of nice. And now that I have big buckets full of salt and ether, and salt prisms. Hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, I think I should be following this line. It might not be too bad to automate mycelium and just crank out a bunch of research on the shadow plane. I think I built too big already when I started laying out those last 2 or 3 mining facilities. I went all that way and I didn't pick up the fire keystones. Oh my god. Okay, that's fine. Just relax. It's a fun little walk. If a bit repetitive because you've done it so many times. Notably, I guess, in fire, I will have to switch back. Sorry, on water, I will have to switch back to using life to route power. Or I suppose air, but I haven't learned how to do that yet. Because I won't be allowed to use fire wires there. So that's one argument for going to. Are these keystones? No, what are these? They're brimstone or something. Where are my keystones? Oh, they're coming from here. Because I do like firewires. Roots require a bit more invasive everything, I guess. But anyway, so I just don't need to do that. I don't need to make that many keystones on Shadow, right? Like 700, I think, total. Which times 27 is what, like around $20,000 shadow total, I guess, ish. Which is certainly an amount, but it's not a huge amount. So I think this is where I was building my little mining outposts. Right? Yes. And I said I wanted to ship the motes. Why are you still running? Oh, you're... All the others aren't running. Yeah, there we go. Weird. When I do that, it starts up again. So it's... I've been thinking of these slicks as having kind of being a chest with size 0. So all that can happen is a gripper will drop off something in there, and then it just waits there until someone's ready to pick the stuff up, and then they kind of swap instantly. But I guess that's not true. There is some sort of inventory in these, because extending the size of the slick did actually make this start working again, which seems weird to me. Okay, this is probably a fine place to bind it all. I would sort of like to practice building big, but I mean, you never really have to, I guess. Hey, yeah, it's fine. I don't need to incinerate it to get more motes, really. I don't need to incinerate it to get it off of my field, really. So I'll just let nature take its course over there. See, these didn't pick up and start producing more, which suggests they don't care about the size of the slick. Or maybe these guys down south already filled up the slick as I was building it. I guess that makes more sense. So that's a pretty long line, right? Oh, I actually built an elemental binder machine down here somewhere. I have 12, but I want more? It's here. So I could build I could try to build like a keystone per second here. It seems like shadow is the worst place to do that because there just isn't that much research to do. But I'd like to see if there's anything wrong with this approach. How many is this? 20. This is only 10 elemental shadow per second. Oh. Found some more shadow. That's actually quite nice. So if I want to make 27 elemental shadow per second, which is what it would take to make a keystone per second, I need, you know, this about tripled. 14 to a side. 14 pairs to a side, I guess. So this is 11, 12, 13, 14. I thought I picked up like 50 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is 28. Yeah, so this is half of what I would need. That's fine. I'll just double it. Copy paste sure would be nice, huh? But wait, this is, oh yeah, this is right. I want reflectional symmetry, not rotational. I want to mirror the stuff on the other side of the slick. I don't think it actually matters what I do in terms of what's on the other side of the slick, but that's what I want. I realized I thought I had fewer elemental binders than I actually did. And the reason is that the tooltip under your hand only shows how many are in the stack you're currently holding, not like in your total inventory. So I thought I was almost out when I finished that top row is what happened. I know, I don't need to build this big, but I would like to, just once. So this is the elemental shadow. Oh, I turned on haste. I thought I had turned on excavator, of course. So doing it this way kind of seemed to lead to a better utilization of the mode field. Maybe you want them like that? Ooh, or like that. No, that only works like one with, yeah. I could do this, and then there's a cute little path, but it's not actually a path that picks up all the motes. Okay, that ought to do. I wish you would show me where the collection locations are for these, by the way. Normally it does that. There's something weird going on right now where it's not. I think. Okay, so tons and tons and tons of motes of shadow. Not sure exactly how many. Reasonably sure it's enough that especially once we get the tripling research online, we'll be able to meet the goal of 27 shadow per second, which, as I've said many times, is an artificial goal that seems especially bad this time, because there isn't even that much research left to do. But I just want to do it. And games are for doing what you want to do. Okay, that's all plugged in now. $110 magma grippers. Is that enough? There's like 50 of these, and they're each going to require 2 magma grippers, right? I guess it is enough. Yeah, so this is an input. This is my first time doing it. This is a deviation from the way I've done it before. I haven't usually had them running in a shared line of any kind between 2 rows, because I've always just extended it. But this row was going to get a little bit too long. I have built other things in this way, but not really binders for some time, if ever. And it's also a bit weird that the shared line is the input. Ultimately, that doesn't really matter. Why am I having so much trouble clicking these guys? Okay, so then we need salt input. Which should be the inner slick, I think. And have the bound darkness be the outermost. So it's easy to get them to touch on this side and then route them to wherever. Down here, I guess, or here, I think is that darkness coming in, maybe. So think that works this way, right? Except they're going the other way. Just make sure I can actually do this with the output here, or input here. The other input here and here. Yeah, that all works. Great. This could have been its own video, really. I just thought, you know, I'll go back to fire. It's been an hour, or to shadow. I'll go back to shadow, and I'll just like finish up the last little bits of research. But of course, it's never that simple. I could have made it that simple. I could have just skipped the rest of the shadow research entirely, or not built it so big. But just doing this once, I don't know. Maybe it'll inspire me to actually do it on Earth, or, sorry, on water or air, where there actually is some research to do. Well, it seems like I don't really care about the air research generally. The grippers don't matter. And the grippers don't matter, and the power doesn't matter, so it really is just like a big old nothing matters. These are all backwards. The ones I just put down are right, because this is output. But the ones I put down at the beginning were backward. So the amount of salt that we need here is 28 per second, is that right? On each side? No, that can't be right. There are 28 buildings, but each requires, it's 14, which is a single chest of salt with 5 grippers pulling from it. I've heard this song before. Like, I'm sure I have, but I haven't paid that much attention to it, apparently. Then I have to repeat all this on the other side. Oh, I am going to run out of magma grippers. Okay. Well, I know where to find more. Not here. Right. I shipped in elemental earth. So I didn't know where to make more, find more, it turns out. This is such a stupid waste of time. I don't know, I just want to do it. So that's what I'm doing. around here somewhere. I walked past it, didn't I? It's up here, the portal. And I guess I need more air stuff to make more of these chests. These salt chests. Oh, while I'm here, let's pick up a bunch of slicks, shall we? There's production of slicks on Shadow, but not that much. I'm not even going to have anything cool to end the video with because once I'm done making those elemental binders, what am I going to do? You know, turn them into shadow prisms and obsidian and quicksilver? Sure. Turn those into keystones? I guess. It's not that exciting. But it is a task I have chosen to give to myself as a present. And it's just kind of meditative, chill, to just do it, you know? All right, so on the other side, we want a similar setup here. I think I did these backwards. It would have been better if these were inputs and these were outputs, but whatever. What's done is done. Is that right? This does not look right. Oh, because I flipped these. But the narrow end of this one is on the left, and the narrow end of this one is on the left. So why? Oh, it's because I was thinking something should be here, but no, they should be in these two spots. Okay. Got it. A little bit mixed up at the end there. Boy, it's so much stuff to build, you know? I mean, I'm not adding any really cutting insights here, but it's just a lot of stuff. Okay, now I need a chest emptying into this. Doesn't have to be perfectly balanced, but it could be. Here? Here? Looks like there. So that's a lot of salt, obviously. I haven't even done the reaching grippers yet. Oh! I forgot this one on the end is special. These are too close. This one on the end is unsatisfied. Well, that's fine. I'll just fix it. It's a shame I replicated it before I fixed it, though. Like that. So just double checking, this is an output line. This goes there. Getting pretty good at putting these down, though. There is that, at least. This one's already here. Okay. Now I need to put in the grippers. I think here's fine, isn't it? Just barely. Did I really? That can't be right. I guess it is. This is fine. Yeah, because this is the slick I'm supposed to touch. Okay. Cool. Power. I actually can't just run it down the middle because it doesn't reach the side grippers, so I need it along each of the... Well, I can run it in this little alley, I guess, and then also this one. Yeah, just do it like that. This is clearly building way bigger than necessary, I'm coming to realize. Like, I knew it a while ago, but the more I do this, the more I'm like, I don't need this. But it's too late now. If I stop now, I'll have wasted all this time. A famous fallacy, of course. Connected up to the network. And this should all come online, except that, of course, it's not... getting something? Oh my god, this is not supposed to be salt. That's fine, I think. Can I just do that? Yeah, they fight when they get to. So what happens if I just like do that and connect them? I sort of just made the problem worse. Because this is now a salt slick. I don't know how I'm supposed to fix that. There's no, like, empty this button that I know of, right? I'm surprised I haven't made this mistake before. Ah! Come back. I think the only thing for it is to erase the whole slick and start over and try not to erase anything else important. Which is more or less impossible. This is God's punishment for my stupid Tower of Babel. Well, you know what? No, I take it back. There is a way to fix this. That is not so drastic. Just take whatever's in there and empty it into a chest before reconnecting it, right? And then we can see how much it was buffering up. Won't that be fun? Kind of a lot. I'm not adding more salt over here. Alright, looks like it just dried up. So, about a stack it looks like, maybe? And now it's ready to go. So I have to do the same thing here. Oh, whoops, no, stop. That's fine. You can continue doing what you're doing. Wait, what? Oh, I screwed this one up somehow when I was... Wait, did I connect this on the other end? No? Okay, I don't know how Motes of Shadow got in there. They're supposed to be coming from here. Oh no, is one of these pointing the wrong way? No, it finally stopped. It ran out. No, it's still freaked up. Oh, I didn't fix this part of it either. Oh no, and now have I broken this part? No, because I haven't put anything more into it. Okay. So... this part I will just delete. I did break it on the other side. Man, what a nuisance. You're done now. Ah, I almost made those two touch. I don't know what would have happened then. Okay, now things are happening. And we have these two slicks of elemental shadow that can meet up. And I believe this is where I was doing all my elemental shadow stuff. So I think just hooking into this is fine, even if I don't reuse this research area, which I probably shouldn't. Because these slicks have the same thing, and I just like can start doing research up here. Right? Elemental shadow, shadow prisms. I don't need the air. Right, I don't even need the air stuff or the fire stuff. These researches are done. So it's just, oh, but I need obsidian and a quicksilver. That's right. I do need those because it, oh wait, no, that's, yeah. You also need that to build the keystones. Okay. Well, I have tons of fire. I should stop recording. This video has gone on too long and not much has happened. But I did accomplish my little pyramids of Giza up here, a very large project to claim my superiority, I guess. Or not superiority, but certainly my excellence. So this, a big chunk of it is going to want to go into shadow prisms, but even more, well, no, the same amount will go into brimstone, no, not brimstone, obsidian and quicksilver. Right. So I just need to route a suitable amount. Well, I need to do a few things. I need to route an okay amount of air and fire up here, or near this elemental shadow, I guess. But I also should automate my mycelium. For shade collector arrays, right? But I just don't need that much shade anywhere? I don't know. It's kind of silly, right? This is a lot of mycelium. I just want to see some research go by really fast, you know? Well, anyway, we'll do that tomorrow, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.